All right. Now, Jimmy Butler is upset about his baby mom. He pays her uh, quite a bit of child support, $55 a month, to help care for their
$55?
$1,000 a month to help care for their 3 children. And he thinks that's more than enough. But now she wants an extra $10,000 because she needs help from a nanny. And he said that she doesn't need that. He filed a motion to find out how she spends the money, why she needs the extra cash. And they're basically saying it must be pointed out the father and mother were never married. That was his response. Mother is not entitled to live as if she is married to an NBA player. And that is his response. Mother is unemployed, refuses to seek employment with one child in preschool, and father exercising equal time sharing with the older children. There was no legitimate reason for the mother to insist both on a nanny and that the father pay for that nanny.
$55,000 for a nanny? Who he trying to hire?
Well, no, $55,000 is what she gets now. She wants an extra $10,000 per month for a nanny.
Who's she trying to hire? Mary Poppins?
Nannies are expensive. I'll say.
Good old child support game. Well, MC, I think when it comes to child support, it amazes me how this is one of the thing, like on a state level or federal level, everybody wants transparency. But when it comes to child support, people are like, yeah, you don't need transparency, out the window. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh, she's unemployed, right?
Yep.
What the hell do you need a nanny for?
I mean, you know, I can see why she, from a lot of times where a lot of these stay-at-home moms will say they need a nanny because for them to go do their stuff, to want to do their things. And it's 3 kids. Did she say 3 kids or 2 kids?
3.
Okay, so with 3 kids, fine. If you need somebody that can do additional things while you go do your adult things or watch the kids for a little bit, because somebody has to watch the kids. So if it's not Jimmy Butler, somebody has to watch the kids. But I don't think you need a nanny. I think you just need a babysitter for those times.
That's just a sitter.
Yeah, she wants some.
Nanny means live with me, take care of things on the daily. Like, what are we doing here? Look, she is asking for wife privileges, and she was never a wife. You're just a baby mama. She don't get alimony. She's in Florida, so even if she did get alimony, it wouldn't have been for life. But $55,000 a month, that's $666,000 a year. Why can't you afford a nanny on that?
Easy money.
Probably because she still wants to live the Jimmy Butler lifestyle. She probably still wants the mansion. She probably still wants the designer clothes and the custom cars. Like, you got to downgrade your life. Y'all split. Unless you in the gym working out with him, and you get, actually, even if she was in the WNBA, she wouldn't see that much. But no, this is crazy, and I hope she does not get it. You can't raise your kids off of $660,000 a year. No, this is ridiculous.
Oh, don't you think it's kind of weird that when it comes to child support system or child support and then child support and custody is how there isn't a breakdown for that type of stuff, though, because we require transparency on all types of, like I said, state or federal levels. But when it comes to the whole child support conversation, and you're dealing with a large amount of money, though, like there's got to be some explanation with that. We're not talking about like this person getting a couple $100 a month or even a couple $1,000s a month. We're talking about $55,000 a month, and she's asking for an additional modification from Jimmy Butler, which. Did Jimmy just sign a big contract? Is that why she's asking for that much money?
They're negotiating, and from what I'm hearing, he's not going to sign an extension with the Heat because he's trying to get up out of there.
Right, but I can imagine that he'll probably get a nice contract though, because he still can produce. So you have this situation where no one seems to like think this is a problem, but this is the type of stuff that happens to like a lot of men. It's just that Jimmy Butler is only making headlines because his baby mama is wanting an additional $10,000, and then you would think people would be asking the question like, "Well, she's getting $55,000. Like, are these kids? How are these kids being taken care of? Like, they must be going to like a certain type of life. They must have a certain lifestyle that she wants those kids to have, but also, like you said earlier." She wants to keep her type of lifestyle. Weirdly, this is adult support, which I know a lot of people are like pretty aware of, but we're not making that connection, or at least we're not pushing for something where there needs to be some type of change in the child support system, though, because The 55,000, yeah, most people are going to worry about that type of situation though, but maybe there should be some transparency on all levels when it comes to getting the what are you spending on child support
So
or how it's being managed.
yeah, look, I'm going to keep referencing Texas because child support reform is coming. Ladies, I hope y'all understand that this is long overdue and it's coming. Texas is going to be where everybody's looking at. It's going to be the test for how this works out. So in Texas,
Mhm.
they have a maximum cap for child support. The maximum you can get if you only have one child is 1,840 a month. For two, it's 2,300 per month, and then for three, it's 2,760 per month. We're going to see more stuff like this, and it's going to spread from state to state because child support reform is needed. This is extortion. If any judge with a brain is going to be asking, why can't you get all that stuff for 660,000 a month? And it's even worse if she refuses to work because she doesn't have any excuses. It sounds to me like she don't want to cook, she don't want to clean, and like a lot of rich people, they don't really raise their kids. They have these tighter bonds with these quote unquote nannies or
Yeah.
grandmothers, and it sounds like that's what's going on here. I don't want to assume that she's a trash parent, but no, when you're with somebody and they're the breadwinner and they're responsible for the lifestyle that you have and y'all split up, your lifestyle is gone. He got all he has to do is make sure the kids are straight. You're on your own. So if you want more money, go get it out the mud. This is what the equality is that y'all asked for. Go get a job and get it out the mud. It's 660,000 a month, and I guarantee you, most of that is going towards her and not the child.
Hey,
Children.
do you remember how old those kids were? If not, I can look it up real quick.
No, I don't. I would imagine they're pretty young because there was references of preschool and early school education, um, and they're the ones that are going to suffer. You know, we keep talking about the mother and the father, but these kids are the one that's going to pay for all of this.
Right. I love how you can just type in how old are the kids and then it gives you a bunch of crap, tell you not how old their kids are. Anyways, the reason I asked that though is because a lot of times what'll happen is that when these kids are about to age out, that's where these baby mamas will start asking for more money. But if his kids are young, then that kind of makes sense of why she's just trying to get ahead of it, I assume, before Jimmy Butler's done with the NBA, which I probably assume probably the next 5 years. But when it comes to like this whole child support conversation, though, Texas does have a pretty good model. And even at $1,800 a month, that'd be kind of, I mean, I bet you a lot of women, I bet they tried out to be a resident of Texas when they mess with these athletes. Like they try to like move out of the state. I mean, that kind of was kind of the conversation with Travis Hunter and his fiance, where she was trying to allegedly get married. What was it, Tennessee or Kentucky or something? One of the Dixie states, but she was trying to move to a state that's a little more friendly towards child support and marriage, or at least alimony or whatnot. So yeah, it'd be great for a lot of these states to get on board though. But if you notice, I have yet to see, like, if Kamala Harris, this is the kind of thing that Kamala Harris kind of got a lot of flack for, and that she never like really pushed for or really had a conversation centered around it though, because when she came out with that plan for Black America, well, all Americans, they dressed it up as Black Americans, but really for all Americans. But when she came up with that Black plan, she essentially said like, hey, you know, we're gonna look at weed dispensaries and we're gonna look at trying to give out certain loans for these types of
And
business.
crypto, don't forget crypto.
Oh yeah, crypto as well too. But really, she had the conversation about telling just men in general, because she lost a lot of the vote for men. She didn't lose a lot of black men vote, but she did lose a lot of vote for men. And she had the conversation centered around when it came to child support and also alimony, and creating some type of federal law when it comes to stuff like that. She probably would have fared a little bit better on those votes though, because like I said, it's not like she didn't win, particularly because of a lot of things she said that were just at the expense of men or would have worked against men. But had she just looked into something like that, maybe she would have gained a little more votes. I still think she would have lost though, but I don't think it would have been that landslide victory. And to my knowledge, there aren't a lot of politicians really going to the Congress and advocating for something like this, or at least it's not making the headlines.
Yo, I just looked. I just saw something on the New York Post. To answer your question, the kids are 5, 2, and 1.
Yeah,
There's
super young.
also let the New York Post tell it with the article I just posted. There's also a fraternity battle going on too. So this might get a lot uglier before there's some type of resolution. Sounds like
Attorney
he's
battle.
challenged. Yeah, it sounds like he might think that one or possibly more of these kids may not be his. So I
Oof.
don't know. Look, man, I need to read through this New York Post because paternity battle can mean a lot of things. Maybe this is a custody thing and not a DNA thing. So let me roll that statement back. But it does say here at the top of the page the kids are 5, 2, and 1. So this might
Gotcha.
just be a custody thing, not a DNA thing. But either way, yeah, this gonna get ugly, man. He gonna have to deal with this while he's trying to figure out where his next employment contract is coming from.
Man, this is terrible too. These are just really bad situations, especially when you got the kids involved. But unfortunately, this is just the plight of a lot of athletes, and it doesn't have to be like this. I find it like crazy that someone like a Nick Cannon can manage all his baby mamas, and we haven't received any TMZ type of or Daily Mail or New York Post conversation that these women are upset with Nick Cannon, and they're asking for more money from Nick Cannon. Like Nick Cannon said in the interview that he just takes care of it. And I don't know what that means, but it sounds like whatever whatever they negotiated, and they probably have a process. Nick Cannon takes care of it, which is wild because he has a lot of baby mamas, a lot of kids,
He
and
got a lot of
we don't
jobs
hear
too.
anything. Yeah, he does have a lot of
Yeah.
jobs.
I mean, we talked about Country Wayne not too long ago. I mean,
Yeah,
I think he flat out said that he pays the expenses of for his baby mothers and the people that they're dating. So
yeah,
that'll keep him quiet.
that's even
It's
wild.
it's extortion, but it'll keep him quiet. But these folks like the Cam Newtons and the Nick Cannons, they need to teach a class or something. How do you get your baby mamas to be quiet? Thank
Man,
God I ain't got to deal with this, but man, this
I
is
forgot about
brutal.
that. I forgot about the whole Cam Newton thing. And real quick, just a really quick pivot. I forgot about this interview that Cam Newton had regarding women and the women reporters. And and I think maybe the audience in general has forgotten about it though. And Cam Newton just really pisses me off about this whole thing with Joy Taylor. But do you remember when Cam Newton lost his endorsement deal with Yoplait
Yeah, because
yogurt?
he was doing a press conference and all he said was, "Wow, it's amazing."
Okay, yeah. So
That
you
yeah,
remember, I forgot
yeah.
about that whole thing. And this is the same Cam Newton years later, or a decade, well, I don't know when it was. But this is the Cam Newton now going through, I guess, feminism camp or something, where he's telling everybody, like, oh, yeah, you got to respect these female reporters or journalists or whatever. And it's like, man, Cam, I can't believe you're on here trying to check Jason Whitlock, though. But that's a whole nother conversation, though. It just reminded me when you said Cam Newton, but you're right. Cam does need to. I don't know if he needs to be one given a master class on it. I would probably say Nick Cannon, and I feel like we're leaving somebody else out on that list of baby mamas. Uh, but this
I
is,
mean, he is an ESPN employee, so you can expect the feminism to start spewing at some point, right?
that's probably what it was. Yeah, that's probably more of what it was. Actually, they're like he probably got it from Stephen A. Like, look, this is how you handle discussion talking about women. Always big them up.
Yeah, it's funny because what Stephen A. does, he has this crazy. He's really good at it. He stays on the line. He really does. He'll make it
Yeah,
seem like he's standing on one side or the other, but he doesn't. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is I'm speculating that these men of money who have these silent baby mothers, that's probably what they're doing too. They're just staying on the line, not pissing anybody off and writing a check.
yeah,
Probably not the best way to sustain a family, but man, nah.
yeah.
I'm baffled at this 660,000 a year that you can't live off of that. That's crazy to me.
Well, it's a conversation regarding like what women are considering or what they value more. And I will say, Jimmy Butler, you had 3 kids with this woman. You didn't marry her? Why did you marry her? Like, I don't understand that part. Like, 3 kids? Because he
That's
had
a
to know that.
protection thing, man. You,
I
you
know,
know I'm pro
but
marriage, but it's a bad deal for most men. Marriage is a bad deal for most men. And until
child
we deal
support
with
is a
that, it's
bad
going to
deal.
continue to decline.
Child support is a bad deal for most men.
Oh, child support is a bad deal, especially if you're an active
Like,
father and you put on child support. That's trash.
he has a 5-year-old, 2-year, and a 1-year-old. So that means he just got done busting this chick down.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, Jimmy, come on, what are we doing here? Like, on one hand, I understand Jimmy's definitely getting railroaded. You know what? Because we got another child support conversation coming up, but Jimmy is definitely getting railroaded here. But Jimmy, you just put another baby in her? Come on, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look, we got to put some accountability back on the men here. Look, one thing I know about women, they gonna show you who the hell they are. Now,
Yeah,
whether you see it or not, and whether you act on it as you should, is a different conversation. He's claiming that this lady does not want to work and is happy being unemployed and just collecting child support checks. You had to have saw some indication of that when you were dealing with her.
yeah.
None of this should be a surprise to him, and if it is, he probably wasn't paying attention. Look, fellas, sit back, be quiet, and let these women talk. They will tell you exactly who they are, and don't judge them, and just let them talk, and they will tell on themselves every single time.
Yeah. Move accordingly. So